everybody. Everybody, please give it up for Eric McDonald coming in from Montreal, Canada, new song leader with us today. So here we are again in the daily antidote of song while we are just about winding down on the end of New Year and New Friends Month. We have been singing all month long with folks we've never sung with before. It has been a great journey, and today is going to be no different. I'm super excited to say hello to everybody here in this space and everybody out there on the live stream. Please help me greet everybody on Facebook and everybody watching on YouTube, whether you're watching now or later. We are really glad that you are with us. And in case you're new, I want to welcome you to the Daily Antidote of Song. We are one sing-along song every day at noon, sometimes two, at noon Eastern. We're always here, and we love when you join us wherever you are and whenever you can. So let's say hi also to all the folks in this room, starting with, of course, Eric coming in from Montreal. Everybody please wave to Eric. We're going to learn a little bit more about Eric in a bit. Let's say hi to Ariana coming in from Los Angeles. Thanks for running tech for us today, Ariana. Pauline coming in from Newcastle, UK. Deborah in Kentucky. Nice to see you. Doug in Vermont. Great to see you. Hello to Carolyn coming in from somewhere I can't see, but I'm really glad you're here. Looks like Belmont, Massachusetts. Got it. Bonnie in Idaho, nice to see you. Sheila in Florida. Susan coming in from Cincinnati, Ohio. Luda coming in from Victoria, British Columbia. Nice to see you again. Marion in Brighton, UK. We're glad you're here. Arlene in Berkeley, California. Nice to see your smile. Hello, Bob in Albany. Hello, Laris coming in the UK. Hello, Cricket in Maryland. Anne in Nashville. Gary coming in from Massachusetts. Hi, Susan in Seattle. Ruth and Clive over there in Birmingham, UK. Nice to see you guys. Hello, Nan in Michigan. Hello to Athena coming in from Brooklyn, reminding me that today is day 1,761 amazing consecutive days of singing here in this program since the pandemic started. And yeah, thank you, Athena, for being with us. We love when you're here. Julie in Ontario, nice to see you today. Linda coming in from Orcas Island. Sarah coming in from Santa Cruz, California. Carolyn coming in from Boise, Idaho with my official cue card. Thank you very much. Hello to Lisa coming in from New Hampshire. Linda coming in from Concord, Mass. Hello to Jamie in Victoria, British Columbia. Jane in Texas. Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland. Caroline coming in from DC. Storm coming in from Massachusetts. Jim Harkless is here coming in from Maryland, one of our regular song leaders. Nice to see you today, Jim. Hello to Hoda in British Columbia. Hello to Annette in California, Bob, Mabel, and the Bears in Massachusetts, Delhi in Maryland. Hello to Loriana, Kachina, and Courtney coming in from Vermont, Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Nancy in Washington State, Maggie in California, Maxine and John on Cape Cod, Carol in Connecticut, Lynn in Connecticut, Alex Cumming is in the house. Wait, he also says Montreal. This is craziness. Maybe there's something going on because we know Alex Cumming is from Vermont. Alex Cumming is the fabulous song leader, host, and assistant creator of our amazing Bandcamp series. So big shout out to Alex Cumming. We're glad you're here today. Elizabeth in California, Mommy coming in from New Jersey. Hello to Jean Marie and hello to Sarah in Texas. Let's all take a deep breath. Yeah, what a great gang we have to sing with today. And of course, all of you out there that we can't actually see, we're singing with you too. Our hearts are all in one place, in one room, in one home here in this space. I am so excited to introduce Eric McDonald, who I heard about from a lot of different folks who have sung in this room. And so I was super glad he was able to sing with us this January. Eric is a touring musician. He is in 2 different bands that I'm very excited to hear more about in a little bit. But Eric, I think we should start singing with you as soon as you feel ready to start. Welcome to the Daily Antidote.
Thank you so much. It's I've also been hearing about this from so many other folks, so it's great to finally be here. I'm going to sing some songs by songwriters that I really admire who are no longer with us, unfortunately, but the first song is by Dave Carter and it's called Gentle Arms of Eden, so I'll teach you the chorus. It goes like this. This is my home. This is my only home. This is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Let's try that together. This is my home. This is my only home. This is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle on a sleepy, endless ocean. When the world lay in a dream, there was rhythm in the splash and roll, but not a voice to sing. So the moon shone on the breakers, and the morning warmed the waves, till a single sounded jump and hum, with joy as though to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I am.
Okay, I think we might be frozen. Are we frozen? Okay, I'm going back to gallery.
And dark night. Then the day shone bright and round her, till the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, and old things into new. And on some virgin beachhead, one lonesome critter crawled, and he looked about and shouted out in his most astonished drawl, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then all the sky was buzzing, and the ground was carpet green, and the weary children of the wood went dancing in between. And the people sang rejoicing when the field was glad with grain, this song of celebration from their cities on the plain. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Now there's smoke across the harbor, and there's factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will, an enterprise of war. But I will lay my burden in the cradle of your grace, and the shining beaches of your love, and the sea of your embrace. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. One more. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden.
That was really beautiful, Eric. Thank you so much.
Well, it's a pleasure. Well, it's a really wonderful experience to watch you all singing along while I'm singing. I didn't expect to feel it so profoundly from watching past episodes. It was great.
That's nice. That's really nice to know. We were all definitely singing along with that. And what I know, like after, seeing so many of these faces so many times, is I can really tell when people are emoting along, and everybody was emoting along today. And I would love to know a little bit more about sort of how that song hit you, and how you're feeling about, the lyrics in the context of the world right now, and anything else you'd like to tell us about it.
For sure. Well, first of all, I should say I chose that song yesterday. I watched the episode, the Sing Yesterday with Alex Sturbaum, who I was lucky enough to meet last year, and who I've known and loved for a long time. And I resonated with their feelings quite a bit, their anger and their fear and all those things that we're all feeling right now. And for me, that kind of led me to a different place, kind of the idea of, I guess it was just a string of thought that led me to kind of want to create something today that was touching on the idea of home and what that is, because to me, during this time, that's where I'm putting my optimism. My hope is in my sense of home, whatever that is, whoever that is for you. And this song clearly is about that. And also, this song has been close to me for a long time. Dave Carter is one of my musical heroes. He was he's an first of all, he's an amazing songwriter. We lost him in 2002 to a sudden heart attack when he was on tour, actually. So we lost a lot of music he would have given us, but he left so much behind. And I love all of his music for a lot of reasons. One, I'm a fantasy buff, and writes a lot of mythical lyrics. He calls himself Mythic Cowboy Folk. That was his genre moniker. So I've always loved that, and this song to me is just it's accessible to everyone and has a great message and always makes me feel a little bit brighter. So that's why I sang it.
Beautiful. Thank you for bringing that brightness in here. And agree with you. Yes, John, Alex Sturbaum. That was so amazing yesterday. First time we were meeting him, and he came in here with a big punch, and it was really great to have met him. Love knowing when our song leaders know each other out there in the world. And I actually thought maybe you were in Montreal with Alex coming, but it turns out he's in Monterey, California, and all I saw was the MONT on my screen. So hi to Alex in Monterey, California. Do you already know Alex Cumming?
Actually, I play in a band with Alex Cumming. So
Okay, well, then I think we need to know more about your bands. Why don't you tell us a little bit?
And that's actually my third band. I play in three. I tour regularly with two right now, called Cantrip and Collos. Cantrip is a Scottish quartet with three lads from Scotland that I've been in for about 20 years, or 15 years, I guess. The second is Collos, a trio of three folk musicians from the U.S. originally. I'm from the U.S. originally. And both bands play Celtic-oriented music. They're the ones I tour with regularly. But Alex and I play in a band called Bellwether with Louise Bicken from Orkney. And it's a great joy. It's awesome that Alex is here. We try and play whenever we can. Since the pandemic, actually, this is a great event for a reflection on that, because we were picking up some steam, sort of getting our recordings, getting our gigs together just before the pandemic. And then after that, we all had kids and families and travels and visa stuff and other projects and all these different things. So Bellwether has not gotten the chance to play together as much as we would like, but I'm very excited that Alex is here, and I'm always looking forward to every opportunity to play together. And we will play together this year. So
that's awesome. So thank you for letting us know that. And actually, of course, I knew that Alex was in Bellwether with you, only I didn't know it was you, even though I knew it was you. Yeah, you know how that goes. So
sure.
if only I could keep things straight in my head. I am really delighted to meet you. Definitely have seen you out there in the zone a lot. And I'm curious, do you want to tell us anything about sort of like how you came into music, or sort of what keeps you in there, or any other projects you do musically?
Well, sure. I mean, there's a few different experiences that brought me there. I come from a musical family, so I was always around it. I sang in a folk choir. Actually, we sang Gentle Arms of Eden in that folk choir when I was in high school. And then I was part of Revels, which is something that Alex is very involved with as well. And that was probably what really brought me into folk music and traditional music, which is mostly what I do. I mostly play Scottish and Irish and Cape Breton and Quebecois and Swedish music and all stuff like that. And I'm known mostly as an instrumentalist. I do accompaniment. And a lot of that came from contra dancing. I used to contra dance in high school and started playing for contra dances, and that brought me into the tunes. And ever since then, the people I've met, the directions I've gone are much more kind of towards playing music from Scotland and Ireland. But it's the history is there is rich. I started seeing singer-songwriters at Club Passim in Boston when I was 15. I used to go to their 4-day, all day, like 18 hours of music day festival called Campfire. And I used to just sit there as long as possible, and I would stay. I'd be like 16, and I'd walk home an hour and a half from Harvard Square, and my mom would get really mad at me, but I'd stay all night. So that's kind of like music just kind of touched me in high school and kept me there, and then it's just kind of part of who I am now. So I have these kind of various pathways that have brought me to these different things. And doing this, actually singing Dave Carter songs for you all, is kind of like a throwback to all that for me. So that's kind of nice.
That's really neat. Did you say which Revels you were part of?
Cambridge Rebels mostly. Yeah.
Cambridge Revels, very nice.
I grew up in Boston.
Say it again.
I grew up in Boston. So.
And did you, you're in Montreal now, so I believe there's a pretty big folk event happening in Montreal this month with the Folk Alliance Conference. Are you going to be there for that?
I am indeed. I actually I have a business side as well, so I'll be there as a booking agent.
Woohoo! Well, I might be seeing you there because I might be there trying to scurry up all the new folks what we're going to bring into this room over the course of this year. So
I'll try and send some people your way.
say it again.
I'll try and send some people your way.
Beautiful. Okay, yeah, we definitely need to talk. I am delighted to know that you have a second song for us. Before we get into it, do you want to tell us anything specifically that you've got coming up, date-wise, or anything else on your website you want us to look at? Recordings.
Yeah, well, mostly I would love for you all to check out my groups. Most of what I do is touring. I'm a collaborative musician, so I tour with these groups. And both Cantrip and Kalos, the two bands that I tour with most regularly, are currently working on albums. I'm recording this month or February with Cantrip and in April with Kalos. So we'll be launching crowdfundings for those, and we'll be working on new music, and I'm very excited about that. And both of those bands are touring on the regular. So Kalos will be on the East Coast in the Mid-Atlantic and DC area in March around St. Patrick's Day, and Cantrip will be in New England, in Maine and Massachusetts and Vermont in May. And both of those bands tour regularly across the U.S. in the Pacific Northwest, in the Northern California, the Bay Area, in the Midwest, in the Southwest, and all over the East Coast as well. So you check out the websites for those tour dates. I'm on the road pretty regularly with those, and I'd love for you all to take part in whatever new albums come out. So.
All right. Well, I hope lots of our folks will find you on your journey out there. We have links for all of your different sites and bands in the chat for folks to follow. And I would love to hear a little bit about what you've got for us next and chat about that one.
Yeah, so this one is kind of stepping more into the traditional music realm a little bit. This is a song that I learned from the singing of Tony Cuff, who's one of my musical heroes. He was a Scottish musician and songwriter who passed away in 2001, a year before Dave Carter, actually. And he sang in a group called Ossian, which was a very influential Scottish band that was a big influence on me. And this song that is of his, well, it's actually an old poem written by Walter Watson, who was a contemporary of Burns. And it's a poem that has kind of had many iterations over the years, but Tony kind of put this melody to it and really made it the canonical version that we have today. So it's a song about being together. It's actually a drinking song. I know Gordon Bach actually recorded this song, and he didn't like that it was a drinking song, so he changed the lyrics and added verses and wrote many that aren't about drinking. I think that for me, I just sing the original version. It's the one I know and the one that I love. And it was a song that was originally in Scots, so the poem was in Scots, which is one of the native languages of Scotland. So the chorus is very easy on this one. The words that you all need to know is "Sae Will We Yet." That's the name of the song. It's called "Sae Will We Yet," and the lyrics go, "Sae will we yet, say will we yet." You repeat the last line of whatever verse came before, and then "Sae will we yet." Sounds like this. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. The last line of the verse before, and say will we yet. Let's try it together. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. The last line of the verse before, and say will we yet. And we'll go straight in, just like we did before. Sit down here, my cronies, and gie us your crack. Let the wind take the cares of this life on its back. For our hearts to despondency we never will submit. And we take been provided for, and say will we yet. Here we go. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. For we take been provided for, and say will we yet. Here's a health to the farmer and prosper his plow, rewarding his hard and toil all the year through. For it's seed time and it's harvest we ever will get. For we lip and eye to providence, and say will we yet. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. For we lip and eye to providence, and say will we yet. So fill up a tankard of nappy brown ale. It'll comfort a heart and enliven a tale, and will aye be the merrier the longer that we sit. For we drank together many's the time, and say will we yet. Let the glass keep its course and go merrily round. For the sun will always rise when the moon it has gone down. When the house is spinning round about, there's time enough to flat. When we fell, we aye got up again, and say will we yet. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. When we fell, we aye got up again, and say will we yet. Here we go. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. For we have been provided for, and say will we yet. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Eric McDonald. Everybody, can we please throw in your hands up for Eric?
And
That
for
was really
yourself.
awesome. Woo! Yeah, for all the soloists in the room, or the duoists. We were all duoists on that one, duetists. So Eric, thank you so much. Just out of curiosity, do you know Steve Winnick, Library of Congress?
I've met Steve, yeah.
So there was something about your vocal tone at certain points in that song that reminded me of Steve. He sings with us a lot in here. And
Cool.
yeah, I think you guys would actually have fun palling around. So let's see, is there anything else you want to share with us before we go?
Just stay happy if you can. That's all.
Good job. Stay happy if you can. Okay, so before we go, I do want to shout myself out. I mispronounced Alex when I was talking about Alex. I did not use they, them. So sorry about that, Alex. And I do also want to thank everybody in this room for jumping in here and being in here through all the things we get right and all the things we get wrong. Day after day, we come into this space. And again, we turn it into our home for the half an hour or 45 minutes we spend in here. And it's really beautiful to be able to be in here with you all every day. So thanks up again for Eric. Sorry. Whee!
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Eric.
having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Hope we can have you back again sometime. And thanks so much to all the other folks here in the room. Goodbye to everybody out there on Facebook and everybody out there on YouTube. Really glad you guys joined us today. Thank you to Ariana again for running tech for us in here. And let's say goodbye to all the folks in the room. Pauline in Newcastle, UK. Oh, wait, she's bringing William over. Everybody wave goodbye to 100-year-old William. Bye, William. We love you. Thanks for being with us again for more singing and tea time over there in UK. Deborah in Kentucky, thank you so much for being here. Doug in Vermont, Sheila in Florida, Susan in Cincinnati, Luda in Victoria, Marion in Brighton, UK, Arlene in Berkeley, Bob in Albany, Laris in the UK, Carolyn in Boise, Anne in Nashville, Susan in Seattle, Jane in Texas, Jim coming in from Maryland, Ruth and Clive in Birmingham. That's one for each of you. Athena in Brooklyn, also reminding me that it is day 1,761, I think it says on your screen. Yes, 1,761 days of singing in here. Mabel, Anna Bear in Massachusetts, Linda on Orcas Island, Annette in California, Sarah in California, Sarah in Texas, Gary and Christy I saw in the background in Massachusetts, Bonnie in Boise, Julie in Ontario, Caroline in DC, Cricket in Maryland, Nan in Michigan, Linda in Concord, Mass, Jamie coming in from Victoria, British Columbia, Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland, Storm in Massachusetts, Hoda in British Columbia. I think that's Delhi over there. And Alex, of course, coming in from Monterey. Thank you, Alex, for being here with us today. Loriana Kachina and Courtney coming in from Vermont, Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Nancy in Washington State, Maxine and John in Cape Cod, Carolyn, Connecticut, Lynn in Connecticut, Elizabeth in California, Mommy in New Jersey, Jean Marie, not sure where you're from, and I think you might be new to us today. Thanks for being here. Feel free to stick afterwards if you'd like to say hi. Fred in Maryland, Aloysius in Mass, Kathy in Colorado, Don in Vermont, Bob in Massachusetts with additional bears over there besides Mabel and the bears over there. Neil in Boston, Massachusetts, nice to see you. And Anna and Sammy and Fiona all coming in from Massachusetts. Really glad you guys joined today. That's Anna, our program director, and her roomies here, especially for Eric McDonald, because I know they love him. So thanks again, everybody. We can't wait to see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Antidote Song. Lots of love, gang. Bye.